Gangs of London was one of Sky's biggest dramas when it dropped in 2020, and to be honest, it's easy to see why. Between the high-octane action and intense characters, this exciting series leaves you wanting more. If you finish watching this one and are looking for alternate picks, we've combed through the archives and saved you the hassle with our top 10 picks that aren't spin-offs or set in the same universe. As always, let us know your favourites in the comments and which of these you've watched. So without further ado, let's start the countdown. Gomorrah is an Italian crime drama revolving around the mafia in Naples. Running for 5 seasons, Gomorrah has a lot of action set pieces, which are backed up by some amazing storytelling and tense segments along the way. The story here revolves around a man named Zero. He disregards tradition in his attempt to become the next boss of his crime syndicate. Of course, these internal problems cause a rift to open in the family, putting all of them at risk. This series certainly doesn't run out of steam across its runtime, and there are enough twists and turns here to make for a thrilling watch and an easy show to add to your watch list. On the surface, Top Boy is a very straightforward story about 2 drug dealers trying to navigate the murky underbelly of London. When you dive a little deeper, however, Top Boy also presents a fascinating social commentary about the seductive nature of the drug trade. This show also weaves that around issues plaguing Britain's youth, doing so with a very gritty, in-your-face style. After 3 seasons, Netflix then snatched up the rights to this one, changing the format slightly and adding extra production value, while simultaneously remaining just as engaging and intriguing, and more importantly, seeing this through to a shocking and finite block conclusion. It's perhaps unsurprising to find Narcos on this list, given Narcos dives deep into the drug trade and follows the infamous Colombian drug lord Pablo Escobar. The series plays out like a cat and mouse chase, with the DEA and federal agents working hard to try and track down and stop Escobar from growing his business. As the seasons tick by, the attention does turn slightly away from Escobar toward other criminals, especially in season 3 onwards. Still, for the most part, this series packs one heck of a punch, making it an easy recommendation. Any fans of crime thrillers will be right in their element with Amazon Prime's original series, ZeroZeroZero. This show revolves around a cocaine shipment making its way to Europe, beginning with a cartel of Italian criminals who decide to buy it. From here, the series expands and grows over time as this shipment hops across the Atlantic Ocean. To give much more away would be a disservice to this one, but suffice to say, the story certainly takes on a very dramatic edge. Gritty, well written, and full of some really well choreographed action, this is another must watch and a surprisingly underrated series too. Set in 2008, the story of Suburra begins with a simple turf war in a sleepy seaside city. With the mayor retiring and his successor left up for dispute, 3 separate gangs seize the opportunity to capitalise on the ensuing confusion. As the separate families begin preparing for the inevitable fights ahead, 3 key characters band together to blackmail a priest. Gripping, action-packed, and full of gang warfare, this Italian series is a must-watch for crime enthusiasts, and it also has the complete season on Netflix, so there is a conclusion to this one. Documenting the life of infamous drug kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, El Chapo is an engrossing, fast-paced and often violent ride through the underworld of drug trafficking. Although there are snippets of empathy felt toward this notorious man, for the most part El Chapo's narrative does a great job depicting this despicable, cunning kingpin as a criminal rather than a hero. The show begins with Chapo's rise to power and ends with his eventual downfall. Along the way though, this series blends elements of a political thriller with a more straightforward action drama hybrid. With a satisfying conclusion and plenty of drama along the way, El Chapo is a solid option. Breaking Bad manages to transcend beyond excellent TV into something timelessly epic on the small screen. From the tight writing and memorable characters, across to the constant juxtapositions and changing character fortunes, this slow burn thriller is a non-stop rollercoaster ride from start to finish. There's a reason this is regarded as one of the best shows ever produced, and if you haven't seen it, you should definitely do yourself a favour and check it out. For those unaware, the story centres on a chemistry teacher called Walter White, who's diagnosed with an inoperable lung cancer. As fate would have it, he turns to creating and selling meth with a former student called Jesse as a way of securing his family's future. If you want an example of how to turn a character from a beloved icon to something very different indeed, this is a solid choice and an accurate depiction of the drug trade, making for an absolute must watch. Excellent acting and a lavish production combined to make Boardwalk Empire a very strong choice for period and crime drama lovers. The story essentially revolves around an Atlantic City politician who plays both sides of the law by conspiring with gangsters. Set during the Prohibition era, this moody, gritty drama perfectly captures the 1920s time period. With 5 seasons to get through and lots of twists and turns along the way, you'll be hard pressed to find a better depiction of mobsters than in this gem of a show. Raw, dramatic and surprisingly realistic, if you're looking for some crime action set in 1920s England, Peaky Blinders is just what the doctor ordered. This BBC drama revolves around a family determined to make it to the top of the criminal underworld. At the heart of this is Tommy Shelby, who, along with his brother Arthur and Aunt Polly, find themselves tackling an array of problems both internally and externally. Peaky Blinders really excels in its grimy, dark depiction of Birmingham. There's plenty of twists and turns along the way too, and with 6 seasons to get through, there's certainly enough here to whet the appetite. Gritty, deeply character driven and absolutely relentless from start to finish, The Penguin is one of the biggest surprises to come out of 2024. The Penguin takes inspiration from shows like Daredevil and The Punisher, bringing Batman's colourful villain to life with a grounded approach. The tone here is much more closely aligned to a crime thriller than a superhero romp, and it's all the stronger for it. The story here is a simple one. Gotham's power dynamic is on the cusp of big change following the explosion at the end of Matt Reeves' The Batman, rocking Gotham to its core. Oswald Cobb, aka the Penguin, seizes an opportunity and tries to become the notorious crime boss to rule over Gotham, taking a young kid under his wing in the process. To further complicate matters, Sophia Falcone is back and she looks set to seize this same opportunity for herself. As a result, an explosive and tense standoff ensues between the two, leading to a heart-stopping, pulsating conclusion, making it a very easy recommendation. So there we have it. Our 10 TV show picks to keep you busy after you finish with Gangs of London. So what did you think of our picks? Do you agree? Are there any notable omissions? Or do you think we're way off the mark? Either way, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.